and welcome to another tutorial from Bello's Designs. My name is Linda and today I'll be making this shaker tag ornament. Put it on that special gift for that special someone, and then they afterwards get to hang it up in their tree. And we'll be doing a different style, black and white, to put as your scene for your tag today. So, ready? Let's get started. All right, you ready to make a scene? Let's go. All right, we're gonna make those hills first. And I'm gonna flip this over. I like that right there. Okay, I'm gonna use Morning Mist, which is a really soft gray. And just gonna come off the mask here. I started the sides and off the mask itself, so that way I'm not putting down a whole lot of dark ink right away. And if you feel like it's too dark in a few places, don't worry about it. You're good. I'm gonna move my mask here now because I want it to go down. And I'm not gonna use it all the way. See, it's not even covering all the way, so. Go real light hand here. I put down my color. There, see? Okay. I really like how that looks. I actually want to stop right there. All right, so now that we're done with that mask, I won't be needing the gray anymore. So I'm going to get my sponge applicator and open up my nocturne because we're going to go around the edges. I always start on the corners. I think that's my thing, just the corners, because I know in the corners I want it to be darker. I just kind of scrape the sides, go at a slight angle for the corners. This way you create a frame. I know I want one side to be maybe darker than the other side. See, my ink is getting lighter, so I work my way around. But I use hardly any ink at all. Now I'm getting a kind of light, snowy effect. There we go. Okay. All right, now we're gonna stamp. Let's get a tree in here. Black. I'm not gonna go all the way down. I do want to make sure that my ink is completely covering the stamp, so I'm actually going to do it this way, if you can see here. I want to make sure it's good and dark. We're going to be going back over this tree with white gel, so I want to get a nice pretty print. Oh, you know what? I don't want the tree to go down all the way this time. So I'm going to put down a little piece of scratch paper. So I want my tree right there. There we go. And sticking up a little bit. There. That's what I want. Hold it for a moment. And there, got my tree. Well, here's a lesson for you. If you use tissue paper as I did, the ink's gonna go through. Not as much, but it did go through. I'm always learning, but that's okay. I'm fine with what happened. So you see how that is? I'll just use a little black ink to extend that out. I'm going to get that ink pen right now and extend out that trunk. This is a Micron pen. I highly recommend you get some if you don't. They're wonderful. I'm just going to extend the trunk. And I'm going to put just a few dots around the base. There. Okay. Now, let's see here. We're going to grab our next stamp. And again, I'm going to do it this way. I can better make sure that I've got coverage. I'm going to do first gen and second gen stamps with this guy. First gen means that's the first time you put down the stamp with the ink. And it looks like that. Then you do it again without re-inking. That's going to be your second gen or generation stamp. And it'll be like that, which is lighter. Now I'm going to push it and see if I can get a third generation, see what happens. Oh, here we go, third gen, and I got it. I like it. See? Okay. But it needs more than just these few, so I'm going to get just the tip of the stamp. You don't have to do that. I want to do that, so I'm just going to ink it right on the tip. And stamp. And I'm going to create a few stamps at the bottom, like some foliage. Okay, we're back and we're going to be using the, or I'm going to be using the white gel pen here. The first thing I like to do is I like to follow the lines. I'm going to try and get this so that you can see. I'm left-handed, so I'm just going to follow the lines like right next to the inked black line. And it's okay if it skips. That's kind of nice because that means the snow has melted in certain places or didn't land, evenly. So it's okay if this isn't perfect. You're not looking for perfect. You don't want that. That's what the white ink is for. You are putting down snow right now. So you want to do this for every branch to get the same look, even the light branches. And wherever there are two lines that meet and create kind of a arm, I guess you could say, I would put more snow in those spots because the snow is going to gather in those places like this right here. It's like the V, the bottom part of the V. And that's where the snow is going to collect more. So you want more white ink there. Okay, so I'm going to turn this. my pen wasn't always working. That's one of the reasons why I don't always like a gel pen, but when it works, it's great. So I'm having to go over a few spots again. Intensify that white. Okay, now I'm coming over here. You ever had a pen run out of ink right in the middle of using it? Yeah, that's me. I think I just ran out of ink. So let me get my other ink pen. Here we go. Let's try this again. Let's see. Oh, and on your gel pens, I don't care what color you have, you want to store them tip side down. You want that ink going down to the nib. That way you can make them last as long as possible. These pens, these gel pens, I'm not sure why they don't have them in dark barrels, because they do have a tendency to evaporate rather quickly. The ink does. That's why gel pens don't last very long. Slightly frustrating. Okay, we're almost done with these guys here. This pen's giving me trouble too. Okay. Now I'm going to do the tree. Okay, you're going to just do bursts of white. You can curve it a little bit if you want to, but you're going to come up on the end. So heavier towards the middle, lighter at the end by lifting it up. Press down, swoop up and out. Press down, swoop up and out. On the center section, just a straight line down or slightly at an angle left or right. These are mimicking the needles. That way you get the 3D effect that you want. As you get to the top, you're going to make those needles shorter and shorter until you just do a few dots. Now normally I'd say I like that, I'm done, but if you notice with this one over here, whoops, there we go. The white is more intense on this one. That's because I let it dry and then I went back over it again with more white, and it darkened or made it less translucent. See how that, I just put one down. Let me get this straight for you. Sorry about that. There you go. Okay. Let's do this again. So I'm not going to go over every single line I already did, but I am going to go over a few, making the white whiter. And hopefully you'll have a better behaved pen than I am having right now. Okay. Once you get the tree looking the way you want it, got it, there we go. I'm going to go back and I'm going to put down white in a straight line back and forth and then have it get smaller. Kind of makes it look like there's water right here. You kind of stretch it out, zigzag. That's if you want the look of ice or water. And because I made that the tree extend past by accident, I wanted to give the illusion of it reflecting. So I put down the white to do that. Also in the backdrop, I'm going to kind of follow the edge with white because those are higher points where light's going to hit. It's going to reflect the light. I'm going to do the same thing over here. These aren't going to be in your face noticeable, and that's good. That's the way you want it. The eye will pick it up. It'll be very subtle, but it creates that illusion of depth that you're wanting. And then I'm just going to go back and put in snow, but my snow is not really showing because I didn't bring in the edges very much. What I mean by that, so you see the difference here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more shading and maybe some snow after that. So I'm gonna see if there's enough ink right here, right now. Yeah, that way it's nice and soft. I didn't need to re-ink it. That's fine. Okay, I like that. I'm not gonna go crazy this time. And maybe a little bit of snow if I can. It's not wanting to cooperate. All right. Since this is going to be the back of your tag, you're going to want to ink up the back just so that you give it a little more character. Make it look polished and finished. So I'm just tiny bit of ink, and I'm just going to do what I did before about going around the edges. Concentrating the corners. And there we go. Okay, so the back's done and the front is almost done. Now we get to spray. Okay, we're back. And what a messy spray box this is. This is a shoebox, nice and tall, and I love it. It's perfect. And it has the lid attached, so I can always keep this contained. I'm gonna grab my sheer shimmer craft spray in Sparkle. Shake it up really good. And go to town on your tag here. Lots of pretty spray. And you can either let it dry naturally or use a craft drying tool on low. This one by Ranger only has one setting, but it is a low setting automatically. See that? That's so pretty. Okay. All right, so let's go on to the next step. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to create the frame that's going to go over your backdrop. Okay, you can use any kind of frame. All right, so for me, I just so happened to have a die that had these really pretty stitched snowflakes included in the die, and then all I did was measure the size of the frame on the outside, and I cut the paper to size to fit. Okay, so whatever you're using, that means you can make this bigger, you can make it smaller, you can make it round, you can make it any shape you want. I just use this particular one for this example. What you're going to need to do is you're going to always use the thick cardstock, and you're going to need 4 of those pieces. First thing you're going to do is you're going to glue. There we go. You're going to glue with clear craft glue, dries clear. You're going to put glue all over the back of one of the frames. You don't, just enough glue to make it stick to the next frame, because that's what you're going to do. You're going to stack the frames to give them height. Okay, so I've got this all glued. I'm going to bring the frames together, not pressing them down. I'm just lining them up, using my fingers to line them up. When you think you've got them all lined up, then you can start pressing them together and go around doing that, pressing, gently pressing. If you press too hard, you might cause it to move while it's still drying because you have wiggle room, wiggle time, you know, with the glue drying. So you don't want to press too hard. And once you got that on there really nice, you're going to take your previous stamping block or something heavy and put it on top of there so that it can have that pressure. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to, while that's drying, you're going to take another one of your frames. You need to use your pre-cut acetate to secure it to the frame. So again, you're going to glue the back side of your die, your frame. That's key here, is you got to have a frame. Okay, once you do that, then you're going to take your acetate and you're going to line it up to glue it in place. You do not want this sticking past the frame. If any glue exceeds beyond your acetate, of course you don't want that, but if it should happen, don't worry about it because you're going for a winter snow theme. So it's going to look nice anyway, and you probably won't see it because of all the little sparkle things that you're going to put into the shaker tag. Now see, I just pulled by accident there. Pulled the acetate off. I don't want that. It's still really wet. It's going to take some time to dry. So I just want to make sure that I press it down. But in such a way that I don't move it. You don't want any holes from your acetate, you know, not covering. That's really important. And I need to get these snowflakes attached. So, okay. So I'm going to get my other block here. I gotta clean my block, right? Okay. Clean tools makes all the difference because then you don't have to risk getting ink on something you're making where you don't want it to be. Okay, so now we're going to go to our previous frame right here. And we're going to stack it so it's 3 high. Okay, so I'm going to put this under the block yet again. Now we have 2 pieces, 2 frame pieces. We're going to let those dry under pressure and we'll come back. Okay, we're back. And now I'm going to glue this top frame with the acetate to the other 3 frames. You want to follow only the white areas. Okay. And this time you have to line up only from the outside edges because you've got the acetate in the middle creating that window. So you're going to want to use all of your fingers. Line it up. All right. Now needs more pressure and time to dry. While that's going on, then we'll go ahead and I die cut these. You may not have this die. If not, you could just do cut out 2 squares the same size, you know, rectangles. I mean, this is going to be your add-on tag for, you know, to, from, or a name. I'm not going to put anything on there, that leaving it blank so you can see the difference. And I will ink it too. So I'm going to glue the backs together. Okay. Same as before. Grab the, oops, sorry. Back to back. Almost did back to front. Don't want to do that. Okay. Line it up by using the outside edges, and when you do that, you just squeeze it together so it has this nice finished look on both sides. And then you have a little tag. It's so cute. Oh, look, it's so cute. Okay. And the hanger, you can do whatever you want. There are all kinds of ways you could do it. You could even glue the thread to your tag if you wanted to. I made a ring. I punched out some tags from earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that again. But this time, before I do it, because I want it pretty on both sides, I got to glue the backs together. Line it up from the outside and press. Make sure it lines up. Okay, I gotta go. Okay, we're gonna go on to this important step, foam tape, 3-dimensional foam tape. I don't have that skinny stuff that I would love to have right now. So I'm taking the skinniest thing I've got and I'm cutting it in half. And there we go. Okay, now hopefully this won't be too fat. Okay, looks like it's going to be good. This is still a little wide. These are going to create the height, but also they're going to create the wall that keeps all your sequins in place when you shake the tag. And we're back. And through the magic of video, I have the foam already cut now and placed on my frame. I just have to take the sticker part off. And you want to do this because you've got to pour all the sequins in, or glitter, or both, whatever shaker material you want to put in here in the window. And I'm going to be using Diamond Harlequin. And I'm also going to use some pretty sequins. I don't know where these are from. Make sure they don't get on your frame. Okay. Gonna split them out. Okay. And I'm going to put my hole on here, right there, about center. Line up your edges. Make sure they're all lined up and good. Press your sides down onto that foam. Ah, there it is. Oh, it's so pretty. And then take your tag. You can color it or not, stamp it or not, and you just put it through your holder ring up here, like that. Bring the tag through like that. And now you have an entire set that you can hang. And it's so great because it's a tag, but it's also an ornament. So there you go. That is how you make this tag. And it's so fun and it's really special. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you come on back and check out all the other videos. All right. Much love. Bye.